Right now, ICE agents are knocking on doors. Senate hearings are exploding into walkouts. And the most divisive debate in American politics is burning hotter than ever. But what if the question we've been arguing about for decades had been answered differently? At the very beginning. What if America had always had open borders? What if then would? Here's something most people don't know. For the first 100 years of American history, there were essentially no federal immigration restrictions. Anyone could come, and millions did. The Irish fleeing famine, Germans fleeing revolution, Italians, Polish, Jewish families fleeing persecution. They arrived at Ellis Island and became American. It wasn't until 1882 that the first major immigration restriction was passed, the Chinese Exclusion Act, the first time in U.S. history that a specific nationality was banned. From there, restrictions grew. Quotas, visa systems, border walls, and today, mass deportations at a scale never seen before in American history. But what if we had kept the original deal? What if the door had stayed open? It's 1882. Congress debates the Chinese Exclusion Act and votes it down. The principle holds. America is for everyone who makes it here and wants to build something. Over the following decades, immigration continues at massive scale. But here's the difference. Without the systems built to restrict, track, and deport, the U.S. government invests that energy elsewhere, in integration, in language education, in job placement. Because here's what history actually shows us. Every major wave of immigration that seemed threatening at the time became one of America's greatest economic engines within a generation. The Italians, who were called criminals, the Irish, who were told they'd never assimilate, the Vietnamese refugees after 1975, all of them, within 20 years, were contributing billions to the American economy. What if that had never been interrupted? In this open border America, the population in 2026 isn't 340 million. It's closer to 500 million. The labor force is enormous. Manufacturing never left for China because wages, while competitive, were balanced by a workforce that wanted to be here, that invested in communities, that built businesses at staggering rates. Immigrants start businesses at twice the rate of native-born Americans. That's not a what if. That's a documented fact from our own timeline. Now multiply that by a century of uninterrupted immigration, and American entrepreneurship is unmatched anywhere on Earth. But here's the tension. Housing costs skyrocket faster. Infrastructure strains harder. Cultural integration, without restriction, creates friction in communities that don't have time to adjust. The economy booms, but so does inequality. Because without immigration enforcement, labor protections become much harder to maintain. Who negotiates wages when labor supply is unlimited? Here's what this alternate America changes globally. If America absorbs the desperate and the ambitious from every corner of the world, the engineers, doctors, farmers, and workers who might have stayed home, what happens to those home countries? Some of them never develop the middle class that drives their own democracy movements. Brain drain at a global scale. The Arab Spring, does it happen if the educated class of Tunisia and Egypt has already moved to Houston and Chicago? The very freedom America offers, in this open border world, may slow the spread of freedom everywhere else. One policy, 100 unintended consequences. The border debate isn't really about borders. It's about who we think we are and who we're willing to become. In every version of this story, open or closed, America changes the world just by existing. The question is which change we choose. That's what if, then would. Drop your take in the comments. Do you think open borders would have made America stronger or weaker? And subscribe because we're just getting started.